Okay, let's take a few moments here just to settle ourselves on our mat. If you want to invite a stretch, a yawn, anything that you need, and then give yourself permission just to come into stillness. Maybe invite a couple of slow, deep breaths, and then just land right here, right now, in this moment. God is here with us, God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Filling this space, this sacred space. Every place is sacred where we bring our attention to the presence of God. He's always with us, never lets us go. He is always mindful of us. Though we, I think, struggle with being mindful of God at times, but He's always mindful of us. We are so important to Him. We are His beloved, each one of us. So breathe in that truth as you just take a few moments just to rest and soften the body before we start moving the body. Let's invite ocean breath to start our class this morning. So if you're familiar with Ujjayi breath or ocean breath, just invite that. I'll just explain briefly how to do that breath again. If you're new to that breath, you could take your hand just in front of your mouth and you could inhale through your nose, open your mouth gently, and then just fog the mirror like you're just fogging a mirror. Let that air, warm air, just blow onto your fingers. And then inhale through your nose and out through your mouth. Same thing, fogging the mirror. So you hear the breath with Ujjayi breath. Then once you get the knack of that, just gently close the lips and continue to inhale and exhale through the nose, but again as if you're fogging that mirror. And hearing your inhale and your exhale. Your neighbor won't hear your breath necessarily, but you can hear it. Just a little constriction in the throat. So we're not rushing or forcing, just going at a pace that is comfortable for you. I invite you to place your hands on your body if you'd like to do that. One hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. You can continue with your ocean breath. Invite your breath pattern to look like your belly filling, softening, and then your chest filling and softening. And then just allowing the breath to empty from the chest and then from the belly. And then filling from the belly and the chest, and then emptying from the chest and then the belly. Soften the shoulders, soften the face. And you can rest your hands, your arms wherever you like, or leave them on the body. I'm just going to read a couple of scriptures that match up with our Sarah Young devotional reading today, and it's taken from the May 8th devotional reading. From John 16:33. I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. And then from Philippians 4:13, and in the context of this is Paul's writing, speaking about no matter what his circumstances were, whether he found himself in very difficult, challenging situations, or whether he was more in a safe place, well-fed, and all that. And he said that no matter what his circumstances, he could do all of that because Christ strengthened him. So that's the context of that scripture. It's often taken out of context. I'm just going to read that, Philippians 4:13. I can do all this through him who gives me strength. It doesn't mean that we can do anything through Christ who gives us strength, but we can do those things that he calls us to do because he strengthens us. So our reading for today, Do not long for the absence of problems in your life. That is an unrealistic goal, since in this world you will have trouble. You have an eternity of problem-free living reserved for you in heaven. Rejoice in that inheritance, which no one can take away from you. But do not seek your heaven on earth. Begin each day asking me to equip you for whatever difficulties you will encounter. The best equipping is my living presence. My hand never lets go of yours. Discuss everything with me. Take a lighthearted view of trouble, seeing it as a challenge that you and I together can handle. Remember that I am on your side and I have overcome the world. A couple of takeaways from that reading. Problem-free living is reserved for us in heaven for eternity. Let's rejoice in that. And that while we are here traveling together, there are sorrows, there are joys, there are struggles, and Jesus is with us every step of the way. Always here to give us wisdom and grace and power to move forward or to be still. Let's invite the knees to bend and walk the feet back towards the body. And just find a little bit of movement here before we make our way to standing. So we can draw the knees into the body. And maybe we can circle the knees away from each other, just bringing some mobility and warming up into the hips. Then let's stretch the legs up, not straight, just stretch them up above the body. Take the arms up there too. Let's circle the ankles and the wrists. And in both directions. Let's draw the right knee into the body and lengthen the left leg away. Nice diagonal stretch. Mountain pose for the left leg. Breathe into this. Nice belly breath, chest breath. And then let's do that on the other side. So draw the left knee in, hug it into the body, right leg long. Spine long, crown of the head reaching in the opposite direction of your foot. Okay, and then draw the right knee back in. So both knees are in. Give yourself a hug, just roll it out side to side. Come to center, release the feet, and then let's turn on to our side. Take a moment here. And then we'll press ourselves up. And please take your time. We're going all the way from lying down and relaxing to standing. If you're on blood pressure pills, you want to be careful of that movement, not making it go too quickly, or if you have a tendency to get lightheaded when you're moving from lying down to standing up. We're going to start with the upper body. We're going to start with some range of motion for the upper body, for the shoulders. We're eventually going to work into a little bit of a flow work, and then we're going to come down to the floor. Hopefully at the end of the class we have time to do a little bit of seated work. So let's start with just coming into our mountain pose. Nice, tall, strong mountain pose. Bring your awareness to your feet, to the four corners of your feet, gently pressing down and rebounding that energy up into the legs. Feel your kneecaps pulling up into the thighs a little bit. And then let's bring our awareness to our feet and feel like your big toes are pulling in towards each other and your heels are pulling away from each other. It's going to be a little internal rotation for the thighs. And then do the opposite. So feel like your big toes are pressing away from each other and your heels are drawing towards each other. Okay. And then find something that's in between those two engagements. So you'll feel the muscles in your legs firing up as you switch from one to the other. And just come sort of halfway and then feel that as you pull the kneecaps up. Feel your legs engaging. Okay. And then let's take our arms and let's shine the palms of our hands forward. And keep your arms straight and strong. And use the strength of your shoulders as if you're pushing bricks forward like this. Just pulsing, bringing some energy into the shoulders. And then turn your palms back from the shoulders. And same thing, like you're pushing something heavy back. Okay, notice how the shoulders and the chest are firing up. And then just let your arms rest beside your body and feel that engagement of some energy in the shoulders and the chest from doing that work. Okay, little toning in the belly. And then crown of the head nice and tall. So our mountain pose. So nice to review proper standing posture and to be okay with just being still in this pose. Okay, from here, let's bring some movement into the shoulders. So let's draw our left arm forward. We're going to reach the arm, so the top of the arm bone kind of away forward so that the shoulder blade comes away from the spine at the back. Then we're going to lift the shoulder blade up. Then we're going to draw the shoulder blade back towards the spine and then drop the arm down. So arm stays straight the whole time, out from your body a wee bit. So we're going to reach the arm forward, creating space between our shoulder blade and our spine. Then we're going to lift the shoulder blade up at the back. We're going to pull the shoulder blade in towards the spine and then drop it down. And then see if you can get that movement to go kind of continuously. It's going to look kind of more like a shoulder circle. Okay, and then let's take that arm, let's reach it up nice and high, and then stretch it up a little higher by bringing, almost like you're taking a little side bend here, stretching the side of the body, and then sweep the arm back, shine your palm back, and then sweep the arm all the way down and around. And then let's bring it forward and up. Once you have it overhead, reach a little higher, and then start to turn the arm back and take it all the way around. Okay, let's come to the other side. So right arm forward, pull it away from the body a little bit, and then we're pulling the shoulder blade away from the spine, reaching the hand even farther away. Then we're lifting the shoulder blade up. So we're shrugging the shoulder, draw the shoulder blade back towards the spine, and then drop it down. And then forward, shoulder blade up, shoulder blade back, and shoulder blade down. So try to bring this movement continuously. And instead of thinking of this as the arm moving, think of it as the shoulder blade moving. So you can maybe close your eyes and bring your awareness to the shoulder blade creating this movement, or at least involved in the movement. Okay, and then let's reach that arm up nice and tall. Lengthen a little higher by bringing some side stretch here. And then we're going to circle the arm back and around. And forward. Reach the arm up, reach higher up, and then circle it back and around. Okay, nice work. And then let's come back to center. Roll both shoulders 2 or 3 times. And then let's invite kind of what starts to look like eagle pose, but it isn't really eagle pose. Let's take our arms and we're going to stretch them out this way. And then we're going to bring the arms, bring left arm across over top of right arm, as if you're coming into eagle pose, but instead just kind of hook your arm here over the top of your left arm, and then just pull the arm in so you're bringing a nice stretch for the shoulder, for the deltoid. Okay, nice work. Breathe into that stretch. So bring your body, it's okay to kind of hug and bring your arms over to one side of the body, but don't turn the body. We're going to keep the body, the shoulders still square to the front. And then let's take the arms all the way out. And then we're going to cross in the opposite direction. Opposite arm over, and you're just kind of, the bottom arm is hooking the back of the top arm, and then you're just kind of drawing it in to the chest, getting a nice stretch for the left shoulder. Okay, nice work. Release that and just let the arms Swing forward and back. Okay, let's invite a nice sun breath here, inhaling all the way up. Grasp the left wrist, and let's come into a side stretch towards the parking lot. And then let's come to center. Grasp the other wrist, left wrist or right wrist, and over side bend. And then let's come to center, and then let's release the arms down. So let's repeat that. We're going to inhale up, grasp the left wrist, exhale, side bend, inhale to center, exhale, side bend the other direction, inhale to center, and exhale, let's take the arms down beside the body. Okay, nice work. Let's roll the shoulders a couple of times. Let the arms cross across the chest. This brings some movement into the neck, so rotation side to side. And then come to center. Let's take the chin up and down. Flexion and extension. Okay, we'll invite a little bit more range of motion for the neck. Let's come to stillness again. And then allow your left ear to just drop over towards your left shoulder. And then diagonally take your gaze and your chin kind of across and up. And then take the chin down on the other side towards your collarbone. And then take your gaze across and up. And then chin down. And take your gaze across and up. So we're just kind of creating what looks like an infinity 8 shape. And let this flow. So let your body come into it. You could dip your shoulders, your upper body a little bit as you bring this movement. Okay, then let's make our way back to center. Let's release the arms down and take the left hand back behind the body. So back of the hand to the low back. Little toning so we're not overly arching the back or thrusting the ribs. Get nice and tall. And then let's invite the left arm. We're just going to breathe the arm up. Let your forearm just release on top of your head. Let it go nice and loose. Let your hand just dangle there. And then start to invite a side bend for the head. So very gentle. Use your hand on the side of the head. Softening at the jaw. You can close your eyes if you like. Little toning in the belly, especially if you're finding you're arching your back or pressing the belly forward. Just draw the front ribs, the front lower ribs, draw them back a little bit towards the spine. Okay, then let's look down on this side. So let your hands slide on top of your head. And then we're just guiding the chin down on this side. Okay, and then let's come back up to center, and let's do that on the other side. So other hand back, nice and tall, toned here. Inhale up. Again, just as you exhale, just let the forearm just rest with gravity, hand dangles. Continue to breathe here. And then let's invite the side stretch for the neck on the other side. Soften wherever you can soften. But notice the right shoulder. If you're letting it drop, roll forward, can you just gently pull that back a wee bit? Okay, and then same thing on this side. Let's look down, guiding with the hand. Okay, and then let's guide the hand back up. Release the arms, just swing them. Release any tension there. And then we had one hand back and then the other. See if you can take both arms back here. Maybe you can cross the arms or just place the hands on top of each other or something in between that. Okay, so again, stand nice and tall, your mountain pose. And notice again if you're arching the back or thrusting the front ribs. Just want to pull that back a wee bit. Get nice and tall. Okay, option to go a little deeper is to make prayer hands back here. And you could take the heels of the hands and the hands, fingers pointing down. So that requires a little more opening in the shoulders. You want to try to Spread across the collarbones as you do that. Draw the tops of the arm bones back. And again, notice if you're thrusting the front ribs, just tone there. Get the head nice and tall. Okay, and another version is to have your hands in prayer so fingers point up. That's a little bit more challenging, quite a bit more challenging. But if you have that in your yoga repertoire today, you could also do that stretch. Okay, and then let's release. And then roll the shoulders a couple of times. Okay, nice work. Let's do an upper back strengthener before we move on to this little flow that I want to do. So let's grab one block. Upper back strengthener, and then another little mobility thing for the shoulder. So let's take the arms straight out with the block in between our hands on the outsides of the skinny end of the block, and just invite some shoulder retractions first. So we were doing that where we pulled the shoulder blade away from the spine. Let's do that on both sides. So we're pulling the shoulder blades away from the spine, reaching the block a little further ahead. So you're creating lots of space there between your shoulder blades. See if you can bring your awareness to that space. Maybe invite a breath into that space. Okay, now draw the shoulder blades back as if you're pinching them towards each other, like you're pinching a pencil. And when you do that, the block is going to come closer to you, keeping the elbows straight. And then try doing the opposite again. So reaching the shoulder blades away from each other and then back towards each other. And just move from one to the other. Want both arms moving equally or both shoulder blades moving at the same time. Try to avoid using the neck muscles here to do that. Breathing. Okay, and then just release the block down. And again, just swing the arms. As you swing the arms this time, kind of exaggerate the back swing so that you're squeezing your shoulder blades together on the back when you bring your arms back. Little squeeze back there. Okay, let's bring the block out front again. So we're not creating a lot of space, nor are we really pushed back. We're kind of somewhere in between the two where we feel comfortable, tall, and strong. A little pressure on the block, and we're going to start to lift the block. Both arms stay straight and strong and move equally. At the same time, you're going to take the block up as high as you can, using the strength of your shoulders and upper back. And then just slowly bring the block all the way back down. Okay, let's release the block to the other hand, and then just swing. And again, just kind of almost like you're going in a circle here, because you're allowing your shoulder blades to squeeze together on the back as you bring the arms back. And then let's do that again. So nice, strong, straight arms. And then we're going to start to lift the block up. Breathe through that. Taking the arms up. And if your arms are up over the head, just let the shoulder, tops of the arm bones, just kind of drop into the shoulder sockets a little bit. Feel the shoulder blades squeeze a little bit. Breathe into it. And then just allow the block to come down. Okay, nice work. One more time, you could just swing it. You could cross the arms over the midline. Okay, and then we did a little bit of work for wrist mobility, so let's do a little mobility with the block. So we're going to take the block, we're going to hold it like this, like we've got a plate of, I don't know what, hors d'oeuvres, but we're going to hold it out here. And we're going to try to balance the block on our hand, and we're going to pull the block back towards the body, try to spin it inwards, and then take the block back behind us. Okay, so a little tricky, and then see if you can bring it back forward and forward. Okay, that was the hardest version of that. You can wrap your thumb and your baby finger on the outside if you want. Just have a little more handle on it. But we're just bringing the block back, and then we're turning it in because we're going to try to take it back behind us. So some shoulder mobility work here. And it is harder to do just balancing it on your hands, so you can give that a try if you want. Okay, and then we'll give that a try on the other side. Okay. So if you can't do this, don't get disappointed in yourself. It's just a little challenge to see, just to check mobility and coordination of this movement with the shoulder. And sometimes we have restrictions there that just doesn't allow us, whether it's in the wrist or the elbow or the shoulder. So we just work with what we got. Okay, nice work. All right, we'll bring both blocks up to the top of the mat. So, from our mountain pose, let's inhale, sweep the arms up. We'll exhale to forward fold, nice long back. Release your hands onto your block, release your head. Inhale to your half forward fold. So reach up nice and long into space. Exhale your forward fold. And again, let's inhale. Let's go all the way up nice and tall. Let's interlace our fingers. Continue to breathe as you shine the palms up towards the sky. If that's available to you, you could always keep it this way too, if that's not available today. Okay, and in this pose, we had arms overhead a moment ago with a block, but we're going to do it this way. We're going to lift our heart up a little bit and just invite a little upper back bend. So you're going to look up towards the sky. Avoid locking the knees back. Keep a little micro bend there. Just lift your heart. Feel the length of your whole body. Okay, good work. And then let's release the arms, swing them down. And as we do that, let's come into forward fold, hinging at the hips. You can bend the knees and swing the arms back, out and back and up as far as you can. Okay, let's pause here. Okay, and then on our next inhale, let's sweep the arms all the way overhead again. And then let's exhale, forward fold. And again, we'll inhale to that half forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. And then let's inhale all the way up. And then let's exhale, hands to prayer. Okay, let's do that again. Let's inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees a bit. Let's inhale all the way up. This time, let's interlace the hands again. Turn the palms up. Okay, lift the heart. Really stretch through the whole body. And then invite a little upper back bend. So we're just lifting the heart a little more, looking up. And then let's bend the knees a little bit. Forward fold. Take the arms all the way back. Reach them back. Sort of a skier going downhill here. We're going to pause here. And then on your next inhale, let's start to come all the way up. And this time, let's just take the left arm. We're going to circle it all the way around. And then the right arm, circle it all the way around. And then both arms circled all the way around. Okay, nice work. And then let's inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, forward fold. Let's inhale to half forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. Okay, we're going to bend the knees here, and we can take our blocks with us to help us with balance. And let's lift the left foot, and we're going to step back as far as we can. Maybe take 2 or 3 steps to get there to come into crescent pose. And from here, we're going to take our hands off our blocks, take our hands to our front thigh. So you want to be on the ball of the back foot, if you can balance on the ball. If not, you could take the heel down and come into warrior 1. But in this pose, we want to, I always say this, we want our feet kind of on railway tracks. So nicely spaced this way so you don't, it just helps you with your balance. Okay, and then so front knee is bent, back leg is fairly straight in crescent pose. And then from here we can reach the arms up, little toning in the belly. Okay, nice work. And then take hands to goalie post arms. Okay. From here we're going to move into a little bit of a flow. So we're going to inhale as we straighten both legs. Okay, we're still on the ball of the back foot. As we exhale, let's come into goalie post arms and sink that back heel down for a calf stretch. You might not touch down, but sinking it down as you bend your front knee. And as you inhale, you're going to lift up. Both legs will straighten. Then as you exhale back into those cactus arms, front knee bends, and you're sinking that back heel down. Okay, so we're moving like that. We're inhaling to reach, exhaling to stretch the back leg, the back calf. And let's do one more. Okay, nice work. So from here, we're going to forward fold hinge, grab one of our blocks, and just take it under your shoulder, okay, of your free. So reaching forward with the left hand to grab the block and then take it under your left shoulder. And then from here, we're going to start to open up into a little bit of a twist. So you can let your back heel be grounded here, or you could come onto the ball of the foot, whatever you find is most comfortable for you. And then take your right hand onto your right hip and just turn towards your right hip. Turn your chest towards your right hip, so you're coming into a twist. You could take that hand back behind your back like we did before, or you could reach that arm up and away in your twist. Okay, and then let's come back so that our chest comes square to the front of our mat. Use both your blocks to help you here. And let's step off the back foot and come into forward fold. So take your blocks ahead of you again. Release to your forward fold. Rock on your feet as you release your head. And then invite an unsupported forward fold if that's okay for your back. So nestle your fists into the crooks of your elbows. Knees can be a little bit bent here. Allow yourself to fold over your thighs. And then find a little bit of movement, a little bit of swaying of the hips and the head. Okay, and then let's come to stillness, to center. On your next inhale, let's sweep the arms all the way up. And let's exhale, hands to prayer. Okay, let's inhale to lift and stretch. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees. Use your blocks to help you. We're going to step back now with the right foot. Feet are staggered like before on the ball of the back foot, and let's come up to our crescent pose. So hands on the front thigh, so back leg is pretty straight, front knee is bent. Reach the arms up. Okay, so we're engaging the core, we're squeezing towards the midline with our feet to find stability, and then so our arms can come to cactus arms. And then let's do that little dynamic movement. So as we inhale, we can reach the arms up, straighten the legs, and then as we exhale, cactus arms, bend the front knee and drop that back heel down towards the floor. So inhale, tall, exhale, to stretch. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, nice work. We're going to hinge at the hips. Take your right hand down now onto your block. Put your block under your shoulder. And then we're going to turn our chest, our heart towards the left side, towards our left hip. Hand can go on the hip, or a hand can go behind your back. Or you can take that arm out into space, reaching it up towards the sky. Okay, and then let's square the shoulders to the short edge of the mat. So facing forward, and then we can use our blocks to help us. We can step off that back foot and come into forward fold again. Release the head. Any movement that you want here, you could take that unsupported version again, nestling your fists in the crooks of your elbows. Bend the knees a little bit now. Let the arms hang, head hang, chin kind of tucks, and let's start to come up really slowly, ragdoll fashion. Keep the knees bent throughout, and just roll it up nice and slow. Okay, and once you get tall, let's invite another sun breath here, and then bring hands to prayer, and come into stillness for just a few moments. So again, let's think about our feet, toes pressing away from each other and heels drawing in towards each other, and then do the opposite. Heels pulling away from each other and big toes drawing towards each other. And then find something that's halfway in between that makes you feel strong and stable. Kneecaps are pulling up into the thighs a wee bit. Little toning of the belly. Energy pushing down into the floor, but sort of bouncing back up, right up through the spine, right up through the top of the head. And as we do that, our shoulders are released away from our ears, nice and strong and broad across the collarbones. And all this I can do with Christ who gives me strength. I know I'm not saying those words exactly correctly, but in whatever circumstances we find ourselves in, we can do the things God calls us to do with his strength, with the strength of Christ and the Holy Spirit. So feel your strength in this moment in Christ. You are a strong warrior for Christ. Peaceful warrior. Okay, gently opening the eyes if they were closed. Let's find our side stance. And we won't need our blocks for this next little series, so we can just move them aside. But let's come sideways on our block. So we're going to stand in a nice V stance, and whichever way you want to face is fine. But let's start with a nice wide stance. Outer edges of the feet parallel with the short edges of your mat. And we want our feet about one leg length apart, if you can go that far. And then from here, we're going to swivel our front foot, swivel on the heel so the toes point directly towards the short edge of your mat. And then your back foot, you could lift the heel up and just press the heel back a wee bit. And that's going to take you into a nice stance for your warrior two or triangle pose. So let's work a little bit on warrior two. See how I wanted to do that. Yeah. Let's bend the front knee. So usually warrior two, we say, we want the knee stacked over the ankle. Back leg is nice and straight and strong, and we're pushing through the back edge of that back foot. So let's try that. Let's try pushing the feet away from each other energetically, and now draw the feet towards each other energetically. And then find something kind of halfway in between that helps you feel stable. Little toning in the belly. And then let's play with this front knee. So, alignment, correct alignment is middle of the knee, lines up approximately with the middle of the foot. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to cause a problem if it isn't exactly like that. So let's try finding just some range of motion here for the knee. So how about we let the knee kind of fall in a wee bit, and then straighten the leg, and then let the knee kind of fall out. So it's almost like it's going towards the baby toe, and then it's going towards the big toe, and then we're straightening the leg. And then let's do that again. So the knee's going towards the baby toe, and then towards the big toe, and then we're straightening it. So just some circles there. And then try that in the other direction. So just bringing some mobility here into the hip and the knee and the ankle. And then find your steady position. So ideally, middle of the knee lines up with approximately the middle of the foot and stacked over the ankle. And then let's float our arms up, nice and strong, warrior two. Taking our gaze over the front hand. Okay, nice work. And then let's take our arms down. Let's step off that back foot and come up to our mountain pose. And then let's do that on the other side. So let's come back into our V stance, but facing the other direction. A nice wide stance again. So we'll do the same thing. Front foot is going to spin and toes face the front edge of your mat. And lift your back heel and press your back heel back just a wee bit. Okay, and then let's bend that front knee. And let's invite those circles. So let the knee kind of fall in towards center. And then let's straighten the knee. And then let the knee go towards your baby toe. And then towards your big toe. And then straighten the leg. So we're doing a circle. Towards your baby toe as you bend your knee. And then towards your big toe. And then we're straightening the leg. And then invite that in the other direction. So go towards your big toe, pinky toe, and then straighten the knee. Okay, and then find your steady warrior two. Shoulders are nicely balanced over your hips, and then let's take our arms out, gaze over the front hand. And let's try that, pushing the feet away from each other energetically, and then drawing the feet in towards each other energetically. And then find that kind of halfway where you feel stable. Okay, and then let's take the hands down. We're going to step off the back foot and step it up. Okay, let's come back to that V stance in the other way. It's a nice big V stance. Let's turn our front foot forward again, so heel, toes face directly towards the front of the room. And then your back foot, lift the heel, press it back a wee bit. So we're back into that warrior two shape. And then let's come into warrior two, so knee bent. And then let's sweep the arms up and catch your opposite elbows. So we're going to kind of frame our head here. And then from here, we're going to keep a nice long spine, and we're going to invite a side bend. So how about we inhale as we side bend over towards that front knee, and then exhale as you come up nice and tall again. Inhale into that side bend, and exhale, come up nice and tall. And let's do 3 more like that. So this is a core workout. Some strengthening for the core. Okay, pause here for a moment. Just let your forearms rest on your head. Just maybe straighten that leg. Give it a little rest for a sec, shake it out. And then let's bend back into warrior two shape. Let's come into that side bend. Be strong through the core, and then see if you can reach your arms out and away, framing your head. If that's not available to you, don't do it. Just bring your arms back to that shape. And then from here, take your hand onto your leg, your lower arm onto your front leg, and then just invite side angle pose. So we're just reaching the back shoulder, back arm out and away. Okay, and then let's come all the way up, straighten the leg. This time you won't spin around, we'll just turn in the opposite direction. So turn your front toes, and then come back to your warrior two for your feet. Bend the front knee. Let's sweep the arms up, frame our head here, grabbing opposite elbows, nice and strong through the core, and let's invite that side bend again. Let's take an inhale here and exhale into the side bend. Then inhale, come all the way back up to your warrior two. Exhale, reaching out. Inhale to center. All right, you're going to do that 2 more times. Okay, and then let's do 1 more. We're going to hold here for a moment. Option to continue to frame your head, but reach those arms nice and long. And then from here, release your lower hand to your thigh and just side angle pose. So we're just continuing into the side bend. Arm reaches up and over. And then let's come all the way back up. Come back to your V stance. And then let's heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. The feet. Take a moment in your mountain pose. Let's do 1 more. Let's step it out again, nice and wide. So let's go in the opposite direction. So if we were facing this way, let's face this way. So we're going to swivel the front foot forward again, back to that warrior two, so back heel slips back a bit. And this time let's invite a little dynamic flow for triangle pose. So in triangle pose, our legs stay pretty straight. Both legs are straight, so we're not bending that front knee. And let's take our back shoulder, whatever shoulder that is for you, and reach that arm up towards 12 o'clock. We want to hug that arm sort of close to your head here, like your bicep is kind of close to your head. And then take your other hand on your thigh. And what we're going to do is we're going to start to slide that hand down the thigh. And as we do that, we're going to continue to reach that arm up towards 12 o'clock as we slide down. So slide the hand down. Only go as far as you can keep reaching that arm up to 12 o'clock. And then slide the hand all the way back up. So the arm stays up here the whole time. Okay, so let's try that again. We're sliding the hand down, arm stays reaching up. So this is taking us in and out of triangle pose. And slide back up again. Okay, let's do 1 more. And slide up. Okay, good work. When we do triangle pose, quite often we take the arms this way and then we reach out Take the hand down and then do this. But quite often when we do that, we want to turn the shoulders this way. And what this does is helps us keep our shoulders in the same plane as our legs and our hips. So it's a great way to practice triangle. So let's come back to that V stance and do that the opposite way. So we're going to turn in the other direction. Back heel presses back a bit. So let's take the back arm up nice and tall, up towards 12 o'clock there, and other hand on your front leg. Leg stay straight, and then we're going to start to slide that hand down the leg, but we're going to continue to reach straight up to the sky to 12 o'clock. And then let's slide it all the way back up. And just play with that 2 or 3 more times, sliding the hand down as we continue to reach up. So this really takes us into a nice side bend, and it's a good core strengthener. Okay, one more. Okay, then let's take the hands to the hips. Let's come back to our V stance. And let's heel toe, the feet together. Nice work, everybody. Let's turn towards the front of the mat. Give the legs a little shake. So some strengthening work, just really reviewing the basics of Warrior Two and triangle pose and mountain pose. You know, those are just such good poses for strengthening the body. And all right, grab a drink if you want a drink, and then let's come down to seated. And if you want to sit on your blocks or use a cushion, you can do that. So after doing all that hard work, let's wind it down a wee bit here. If you have glasses on, you could slip them off. We're just going to create some heat, rub the hands together. Really rub the hands together. So create lots of energy here and hear the sound of skin on skin. And then gently give your face a nice little wash here with your hands. Around the chin and the mouth and nose, over the forehead and temples. Be a little circular pattern. Over the jaw, just under the earlobes there, find the mandible joint. Okay, then just find the sides of the neck here and just up and down. So below the jawline, the big muscle along the side of the neck, just you could find a circular pattern again with the fingertips and just gently massage down the sides of the neck. Okay, and then we can come down to the bottom of the neck. There's your trapezius muscle, great big muscle that runs along the ridge of the shoulders and over the upper back. Just if you can get on your skin, take your fingers under your shirt and just wrap your fingers over the ridge of the trapezius muscle. Fingers will go over towards the back. And then gently, well, actually you can use more than gentle pressure. However, how much pressure you want, just pull the fingers forward over top of the ridge and just right over top so that you're kind of sweeping them towards your collarbone, down towards your collarbone, and then reach back and do that again. Okay, so you're just going to keep doing that, a few of them, and as you do this, you can move your hands farther away from each other. So we're working towards the shoulders. Invite a couple of slow, deep breaths. Just give your nervous system the message that we're in a safe place. It's okay to switch into that rest and restore mode. You can come back towards the neck again. Okay, we have a couple more minutes, so let's do a little bit more work for the face. Let's do the sinus massage. I wanted to fit that in if we have time, and I think we do. So we're heading into, season of colds and indoors more, so maybe some more allergens that we're be coming in contact with indoors. So just rub the hands again, create a little bit of heat. If you have glasses on, you'll need them off. And then let's take our index fingers, and we're going to come close to the corners of the eyes, not quite there, but on each side of the nose, up close to the corners of the eyes. Bony there, you feel the side ridges of the nose. And then you're going to start to sweep your fingers down, and you're going to find the edge of the cheekbone right there. So just sweep along the ridge of that cheekbone around, it's a circular bone. And then once you find kind of the end of it, just go back up to where you started. Put a little bit of pressure, not a lot, and then just invite that sweeping again along the ridge of the cheekbone. So this just creates a little pressure wave in the sinuses, and it just invites the smooth muscle just to relax, and you may find that you get some drainage from that, which is a good thing. Okay, and then we're going to come up and do the sinuses that are up here in the forehead. So we're going to use our thumbs for that. Come close to the corners of the eyes again, but above the eyes, and you'll feel the orbital bone there, below the eyebrows. And we're not pressing on the eyeball tissue at all, but we're just sweeping along that ridge of that bone from the middle out towards the outer edge of the eyes. And we don't want to pull the skin too much, so just be aware of that. So just sweeping gently from the middle inside to the outer edges of the orbital bone. So same sort of idea, this creates a little pressure wave in the sinuses, helps with drainage, and it's also relaxing. Okay, and then let's come to our chin here, a little line in our chin. Take our index fingers again, just bring them together, and just gently sweep the fingers away from each other along that line. A little row of lymph glands here, so we just encourage the lymph drainage from the head. And then the same above the collarbone. So just come into that soft tissue space above the collarbones, and you can just kind of sweep from the middle out. Just a little bit of self-care as well. Let's take our legs out in front of us. And we could just do a little bit of tapping here. So just make a gentle fist up and down the legs, inside, outside of the legs. And then you could sweep. So use your hands, sweep. So just encouraging, boosting the immune system, lymph drainage. And then you could make knuckles, fists, and you could give a little deeper rub into the muscles. Lots of lymph glands on the inner thighs here, so encouraging that drainage up the body. Outer thighs, backs of the legs. And while we're at it, let's just do a little sweeping of the arms. So just sweep the top of the arm and turn it over underneath the bottom of the arm. And let's do the other side. Okay, should be feeling relaxed. Let's go down and relax some more. So let's lay down for just a little bit longer. Cover up or put your socks on. So with each exhale, softening a little bit more. Dear God, help us to have an eternal perspective so that we won't chase unrealistic dreams and material gratification during this life journey, which is just a blip compared to our eternal life with you. Instead, empower us to be ever mindful of the grace, peace, and purpose that you give us right here, right now. Our time here is short, Lord. We become more aware of that as we grow older. Help us to prioritize our daily life so that you are honored by our thoughts, our actions, our speech, and that others are blessed through our service, our witness, and our love. You alone are our strength, our rock. We rejoice in our salvation. We rejoice that we belong to you. We rejoice that all will be made right someday. And we rejoice in, and I'll let you fill in the blank here as we rest for a couple more minutes. Please linger here a little longer if you like, and encourage you to just take your time when you feel ready to move.